If you're currently looking for a job, then I got the perfect video for you. Josh and I have teamed up yet again to explore LinkedIn's job search capabilities. I was pleasantly surprised to find out that LinkedIn even had this feature. I've always searched for a job either going to the website of the company I want to work for or through Indeed.com. But knowing that LinkedIn, it takes advantage of all the information that you built in your profile. Link down in the description. If you don't have the perfect profile yet in LinkedIn, there's a video on how to get the perfect LinkedIn profile. But this video is all about job search. I'm going to give you some tips, some tricks, and hopefully help you find your next perfect job. Take a look at the video. All right, so we are going to jump into LinkedIn and continue down our journey. Last video, we covered LinkedIn profiles, and today we're going to do what we thought we were going to achieve last time, but didn't get a chance to do it. But fingers crossed we get a chance to do it this week. And that is we're going to be taking a look at JAdmin or some sort of Atlassian related roles within LinkedIn.
Yeah.
The first step is get your profile updated. So watch the video. And now that you have a good landing page, let's take a look at how do we actually look for a job. So Josh, last time I was quite surprised that there's a jobs button in that UI. I've never once clicked on it. I always go to my network, messaging, and notifications, and somehow this little button just didn't exist for me.
Oh, wow.
Has it always been there?
Yeah, as far as I can remember. Yeah.
I just can't believe that out of all the buttons in that UI, that's like the one thing that when you told me you just click on the jobs button, I'm like, what? There's a jobs button there?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're in here. This feels a little overwhelming. Where do we find something? Am I putting something up here in the top left corner?
Yeah, so it's definitely a different kind of way to search for a job. Um there is a one thing to note as well is down there in the I don't know if you have those there. Let
Do I
me
have to be searching for a job? Does it have to be open to work?
No, I'm just trying to look at your okay. So in the left-hand side there, that your menu there, preferences, that's a good place to fill out some additional information, and
Okay.
especially because this is information that if you use like the quick apply, like the LinkedIn apply feature that some of these jobs have, all that information is going to be shared with the recruiter, hiring manager, whoever it is, um,
Okay.
about you. So it's just less information that they have to gather from you. But it's good to put that stuff out there too.
And then it looks
Um,
like you can bookmark jobs. Maybe you think about it, but come back later. Oh, look, I applied 3 years ago to LinkedIn jobs.
yeah. And then within that section too, that's where you can actually upload your resume. So that way, when you use the fast apply, I forget what they call it, but when you use that LinkedIn apply feature, that way it'll pull your resume so you can load it in there.
Okay, I see. So, okay. So I just clicked
Yeah.
on the open to work, but we have your job alerts, so you can put what you're looking for. I'm assuming
Yep.
you get emails at this point.
Oh yeah, yeah. So yeah, just be aware that if you
Emails were
sign up for
coming.
that, yeah, you're gonna get pinged a lot, and it's just gonna be LinkedIn emails. Like it's not necessarily gonna be from people. So just keep that in mind.
And then this is, of course, where you put like your $1 million salary, right?
Right, right. I mean, you don't have to put something, but yeah,
Exclude stocks, bonuses, and tips. Okay. You can put okay, so you can put though if you wanted to, I guess you can put if you salary or per hour.
right,
That's
right.
interesting. Oh, there's a back button I keep getting out of that. Qualification. So this is the resume part. Oh, look,
Yeah.
see, I guess okay. So I lied. January 1st. I missed it by 13 days. So 13 days into 2020 was the last time I uploaded
Wow.
something. So technically 2020.
Yeah.
You can share your resume data. What does this mean? Like the contents of it?
Um.
Recruiters can view skills and experiences from your saved resumes. Okay.
Yeah.
So this would might kind of be duplicative though, right? Because if you watched the first video, you would have put a lot of your skills and experiences in your profile. But I guess it's a double whammy in case you need to. This is interesting though. Do you know what happens? Like, why are there 4 copies of my resume? Does it like,
I mean, you can upload more than one, and then I think basically you can choose
but does it like
which.
the recruiter get all 4?
No, no, I believe like I've never had more than one uploaded at once, but I would imagine that when you go to apply, you can just choose which one you want to use.
And then of course your demographic information.
Yeah.
Okay, and then there's one last thing about your verifications.
Yeah, so that's just ways to
Make sure you're a
um
legit person.
yeah, make sure you're legit, verify that you are who you say you are or you've worked where you say you worked.
All right, so we're back in jobs. That took care of
Yeah.
preferences. We took care of the bookmark jobs, and then we have our interview prep. What in the world is this? Are these just mock questions? Maybe we should save this for our mock question part.
Yeah.
This is interesting. So, well, I think we should come back to this because I do want to do a video where we talk about like interview questions.
Right.
So let's find a job. Let's find a Jura administration. What do you
Yeah, so well, this gets down to how you wanna search. I mean, sure, you could write Jira administration. I would probably just start with Jira, like
Jura? Okay.
literally Jira. Um, you're gonna get more results, but uh, that's okay. Um, and then if you see across the top there, there's a bunch of filters. So depending on what you want, like your location, do you want remote only? Do you want on site? Like state, actual location, that kind of thing, that you're looking for.
This is a lot though, right here, 37,000. So yeah, so okay, so let's do remote.
Yeah. And then I would also pay attention to the date range. So date posted should be up there at the top. The filter.
Oh, sorry, they posted, yes.
Yeah.
So like within the last month or something?
Yeah. Cause if you're doing like any time, then it's going to pull like literally anything that's
Eh,
been, I mean, it could be up there for 10, 12 months, years, whatever.
okay,
Um,
yeah, that's a good tip there.
yeah.
On the experience level, what are you looking for, right? You
So not every job has that posted.
mm.
So, I mean, if you want to use that, you can, but uh
I
how you're
typically
not going to know what's one company views this role versus another company.
yeah,
Some
that's what I was gonna say
companies,
because entry level and associate are like I've seen companies where associate is like your level 1, right? Which
yeah,
is technically your entry level.
right.
And yeah, so I would definitely I mean, I think I'm at the point where I care a little less about this and a lot more about the next part, which is salary. Right? Like I kind
Um,
of feel like I know where I'm at in my salary band.
I mean, yes and no. I mean, not every company posts the salary. So that's only filtering based on the
Well,
jobs that have it posted.
unless you, of course, you're trying to get a job in California because legally all the
Yeah.
jobs have to
Yeah.
have salary
Right.
in a few other states.
Yeah.
So what happens like is LinkedIn because I've seen this on Indeed, right? Indeed does like their salary estimate for the ones that don't post the job salary.
Mm.
Like, do you think is that something that you've seen that LinkedIn does, where maybe we want 120,000?
I haven't seen any kind of estimated
You know,
ones.
let's just go to the top. Let's just go top of funnel here, 200K. That, so okay, so we skipped the experience level. Do we care about the company? This is just narrowing it down. Probably not, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's just if you only want to see certain companies.
And then I'm assuming this easy apply is the one that you can just literally hit apply from here, and
Yep.
it does that profile and everything we just talked about.
Yep.
All right. So maybe let's turn. Well, what happens if it's not an easy apply? Does it just means you have to go through their normal website and fill out
Yeah. I
their?
mean, there'll be an apply button, but then it'll forward you to wherever they need you to apply through.
Okay. So we got 616 Jura related jobs posted in the last month that are 100% remote, allegedly, over 200K.
Well, so Jira is in the job description somewhere.
So Jura related
Jira
ish.
related potentially.
Well,
It could just be because there's a line in the job description that says
it must go.
familiarity with Jira, you know,
Okay.
Experience using Jira. It doesn't mean that you're a Jira administrator. It was just the way that I like searching was just to be able to get everything, but still related without excluding anything, because they may not call it a Jira administrator. They may call it something else. They
Now
may
let
call
me
it
ask.
Jira engineer,
Right.
like,
Yeah. Or system or the old
or
data
system
center folks, right?
administrator. And I
Mhm.
mean, yeah, Jira, but Jira would still be in the description there somewhere.
But then that's fair for like so I should expect like project management jobs,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Scrum master
It's going to
jobs.
be all kinds of jobs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, do you know if there's any limitation? Because I'm on the free version of LinkedIn. Like, would you expect like if you were to do this since you're a LinkedIn premium member, no?
Right.
Would you get a different result?
I don't think so.
Do you think it's just the same six? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So we have some information. We got some filtering. We can obviously reset it, start all over. There's
Yeah.
also some more filters that are on the side that are location specific, industry specific, job function specific, title specific, under 10 applicants.
Yeah, that's another thing. So I would never get discouraged by how many applicants that you see have applied, supposedly applied for the role. Um, there's a lot of like controversy and weird stuff around how LinkedIn calculates that number. Um, there's some suspicion that it's literally just if someone clicks on the job and like views it, then they count that as an application, or just someone clicked apply, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they went through the process and applied. Um, so I wouldn't get discouraged by that.
Okay.
Also, just realize that depending on the role, I mean, there very well could be over 100 applicants.
Right.
That's just kind of the way it is right now.
Yeah, no, I mean there's definitely a lot of people in the market looking and not everybody's hiring.
Yeah, but just never let that. I would just say never let that discourage you
Yeah.
from applying.
Now, what about in your network? I have personally never gotten a job through my network, and I hear that that's the best way to get a job is through your network. What do you think of that?
Um, I would say it's important. It's important to network. It's important to meet people that are in your industry or that are in your line of work. I like, for example, in the Atlassian world, right? I mean, I would, if you're looking for other Jira jobs, number one, I would definitely be involved in the community. If you've been doing this for a while and you're not a community leader, then you should probably try to become a community leader too. Um, Go to events, attend events online, all that kind of thing. Like networking to me is important because we all work at different places. We all have done these jobs for a while and we all know a lot of people. It's not just a matter of who you know, it's then who the people that you meet, it's who they know as well. So, I mean, networking has definitely helped me. It's helped me find roles for sure. Um, so yeah, I think it's important.
Okay.
It's not everything. Like there's never going to be a perfect mix or a formula that you can follow that is going to guarantee you get a job. Like it's just not like there just isn't
Yeah.
a lot of it's luck. I mean, it just kind of is.
What's that Lincoln or it's not Lincoln Park, Fort Minor song? 50% luck, like 20% concentrated power of will, 10%
Oh yeah.
whatever the percentages are, but there's like some of it is luck. Luck plays a little part of it.
Yeah.
But a lot of it is also volume, right? Like how many jobs should people be applying to? Like is there a recommend like what were you doing when you were looking for a job? Were you doing 10 a day, 100 a day, 50 a day, one a day?
Well, I mean, I I was more strategic about mine. I
Mm.
would
You
I
were more
was
of a
looking.
sniper, less spray and pray.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with applying for a bunch, but you're You just have to make sure that you have business, like you actually have a somewhat of a chance. Like you're
Right.
being honest with yourself, and you're like, oh yeah, I have the experience that's listed on this job. I'm going to apply for it. I wouldn't just apply for jobs and just hope that someone would be like, well, they didn't really do anything related to this, but I'll give them a shot. That's not going to happen.
Now,
Um,
now let me ask you an important question. So I'm seeing this JoBot here,
uh,
not a company I recognize, right?
mhm.
And the fact that they're in every major city, a little bit of a red flag for me. What's safer, applying through here or going on the actual company's website and applying through their portal there?
Um, well, number one, some of these may not have uh their own direct like applying portal. They may not have that. They probably do. I've seen Joe Butt on there a lot. And in terms of like a red flag about the locations, I think what happens in this scenario is that, and I've seen a lot of companies do this, they just automatically apply to all these different locations to maximize the amount of eyeballs on the job posting. Because
Okay.
some people are only going to look by location, right?
Hmm. There's
Um,
still people, even in 2020, people still want to be in an office.
well, yeah, yeah, yeah.
I wonder what happens if I
Not
put like a
everybody's remote
hybrid.
anymore. Not everybody. It's getting more rare again.
I know it's crazy. It's like I remember when COVID hit, the very like 2 weeks into COVID, like the directors and engineering managers were like, "All right, we're gonna pull metrics to see how unproductive we are being." And to everybody's surprise, like there was more commits,
Yeah.
more PRs, more deliveries,
Yep.
more testing, more everything
Yep.
than ever before.
Yeah.
And yet here we are 4 years later, and
Yeah.
everyone's like, "Well, you got to be in the office so that we can have
Well,
more."
a lot of companies still have buildings that they're paying for.
Yep. All right. So wait, what happened? I thought it saved. I thought it told it that I wanted to go hybrid as well. Show result. I gotta hit the show results. Okay. So I got a couple of jobs. Maybe I don't want to be in San Diego anymore because I actually don't live in San Diego.
Mhm.
So that'd be quite the commute.
Yeah.
But let's take a look at this ServiceNow job
Okay.
because we need better service now. Use ITSM solutions like Jira Service Management.
Yeah.
Not sponsored,
Yeah.
but let's just say we wanted to join the dark side. What are we doing here? Like, and so this apply button. I mean, what should we be looking for in this rec? What were you looking for? Like, what was catching your eyes?
I mean, I would usually go. I mean, first things first. Obviously, you're looking at the title to see what they're calling this role. Doesn't necessarily mean that that's actually what the job title is. That's just the title that they're
Oh,
using to
I've
to
been bait and switch like that. Many.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's just the usually a lot of times if you read the job description, usually like the first line, it will reveal what the actual job title is. And it's amazing how sometimes how different they are. Um, but either way, it's all based on
Yeah.
keywords
And then
stuff.
this also drives down the point of don't expect to see Jira in the title, right? Like since I didn't
Yeah,
put
I mean,
Jira admin.
sometimes there will be something, um, but or it'll be like Atlassian related. Um, but yeah, I wouldn't necessarily expect to see Jira in the title.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, so I mean, for me, it was always like I would see what it would be called, and then if there's a
Confirm the
salary
location. Yeah,
posted,
well, I would say confirm the location because, like, for me,
yeah,
this is a red flag for me. I don't live in San Diego, so I probably wouldn't want to do a 120-mile commute every day
right.
each way. Each way, so that's a lot of driving.
Well, yeah, and for me, I was only looking for remote jobs, so that kind of took care of the location, and I filtered by that. And but then, yeah, I would look at things like uh, salary if it was
Yeah,
posted. If it
I would
wasn't
make sure.
posted,
Yeah, I would make
honestly,
sure. Yeah.
if it wasn't posted, it would have to be a really good job based on the description and aligned to my what I'm looking for me to apply.
Do you ever just
Um,
apply just so you can see if you even get a number at some point, or just didn't want to waste your time with that?
there were probably a couple jobs that I applied for that didn't have a salary posted, and I only applied because of the reputation of the company.
Hmm.
Even though I didn't necessarily agree with the fact that the salary wasn't posted.
It's interesting. Like, I mean, in this day and age, right? Salary transparency. Again, it's illegal in California to not post
Right.
the salary, which is why this is a California job. So you're absolutely going to see the salary there. So
Yeah.
it's interesting that other states don't follow suit. I think it manages expectations a lot easier. I think from the people applying. But I think the reason why people don't like to do it is because I can imagine there's ServiceNow employees that aren't making 140K that it might be in quality engineering.
Yeah.
You're going, something's not quite right.
Yeah.
Okay, so this salary is within my range. I'm looking. I was in that what 200 spot, right? So there's a little bit of wiggle room each way.
Uh-huh.
So we're looking good. We're again maybe not the commute because I don't want to drive 120 miles each way, but assuming the location or the remote's good, the salary looks good, the position again a little less relevant because most of the time those kind of they're wishy washy. Should we reach out to our connection? Is that a thing that's recommended?
I mean, yeah, if you have a good connection that could potentially act as a referral for you,
No idea who this
um,
person is.
yeah. But if you
Probably
have
not.
that, you should take advantage of it for
Does
sure.
your school matter? Does the fact that 666 alumni go to there or
I
work
don't
there?
think so.
You don't
I
think so?
mean, no, no. Uh, uh, yeah, I would say no.
Now, what about this? Like, what if you start seeing some skills? You're like, maybe you read through the description, you're like, okay, I can do all of this. Would it be wise to then maybe go look at your skills and make sure you got these kind of skills in your resume or in that skill section of your profile?
I don't know how much the skills section helps in LinkedIn. I
I
mean,
mean, well,
maybe.
maybe not to do the job search, but again, what if a hiring manager goes, "Oh, we like this candidate. Let's go look at their profile," and now the
Yeah.
profile at least has the right skills that match up.
Yeah, I mean, yes, I guess. Um, but I would at that point, the hiring manager will have already received your resume. If they're looking you up and going and reviewing your LinkedIn, more than likely they've already received your resume and they're interested in looking you up. And if your skills don't translate through on your resume,
They probably
they're
won't do that.
probably not gonna it's not gonna
Invest, yeah,
matter.
because that's some time, right? That's some
Yeah.
effort there.
Yeah.
This is kinda creepy though. You can if you pay let's talk
Oh.
about privilege, right? If you pay, you can see who your competition is. Did you ever try this?
Interesting. No, I have not seen anything like that.
This would be
I don't
really
even see that on my option.
no? And you
No, and I have the paid one.
maybe they just it's a upsell
Service
for
now.
us poor people.
Interesting. Huh.
What do you think of this though in general? Like, should you like in a competitive role like we are today, right? Every edge counts, no? Or every advantage counts.
Yeah. Oh, I know what it is. So, you're not actually seeing the people that applied. What it is, it's a section called "See How You Compare to Other Applicants," and it gives you a breakdown of
Like their
the
skills, years of
the
experience.
demographics of the people who applied. So how many are senior level, how many are entry level, how many are
Mm.
manager level, how many what their education level is, and that's basically it.
Not I don't think anything that would give you a competitive
It
advantage.
doesn't it doesn't give you a
Yeah.
it really like I'm amazed that that's behind a paywall because I just think it's not really it's just not valuable information. It's like how you
Okay.
compare. Like what you're not applying. The only people you need to impress are the recruiter. Like that's the only person you need to impress
Well,
initially.
technically, the first thing you gotta impress is that what is it, ATOS? I don't application tracking system or whatever,
Yeah, I
ATS?
mean, to an extent, yeah. I mean,
First, you
as
gotta
long
pass
as
that, and then you gotta get the recruiter, then you gotta get the manager, and then
yeah.
you worry about your competitors.
I mean, if you truly do have the skills and the related experience for a job that you're applying for and your resume reflects that, you're gonna get through the ATS.
Yeah,
Like I don't I think the ATS automatically rejecting people thing gets a little blown out of proportion.
and make sure you subscribe and come back next week because that's what we're gonna be covering is your resume and getting
Yeah.
how to get past ATSs. Alright, so we got AI telling us, are we a good fit for this job? I'm assuming it's going to go scrape the resume and scrape your profile and give you some
Yeah.
sort of analysis. And then we have the apply button. So this one is not an easy apply. So this is gonna, I'm presuming, and let's not turn things on because then I get a bunch of emails. So this okay, so this does redirect you to service now where you can relook some of the details that are on there. I always like looking at the website of the job that I'm applying.
Mm,
I'm not a big fan. I don't think I've ever applied to like Indeed or I mean I didn't even know about LinkedIn having jobs, but I've always come in here. But this now begins the annoying part, right? Like for every company you apply to, you got to make an account. You got to make a password. Like
yeah.
so, keep
Yeah.
a spreadsheet.
Right. Yeah. Invest in one password. Um,
Okay, so then, and what else? We have a few minutes left. Any last minute tips? So you obviously just look through these items and see what you like. Easy apply if it's got it. That'll just use your
yeah.
account profile. So you're gonna want to make sure you invest in your profile first.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you'll be redirected to the website, you upload your resume, you make an account, you answer some questions, and then keep track.
Yeah. And then it's just a matter of kind of just playing with your keywords and stuff. So like maybe you want to do a search for, Jira administrator. Maybe you want to do a search for Atlassian administrator. Um, one of the other tools, that kind of thing.
Yeah, and
Um,
definitely play around with things, right? Because like right now that I looked up Jira administrator, you get 207, but if you look up administration, it's 534. So like
yeah.
take a look because different keywords are going to return back different results and then just read through them. Now,
Right.
what do you think about applying to a job like this? Maybe I don't have product management background. Like, should you even apply to jobs that you don't really have experience with, or should you really just stick to the stuff you know?
Um, yeah, if you really know that you have no business applying for a role and you're just taking a shot in the dark, don't don't even bother. Um, it's okay that you're not qualified for every role. Um, and there are plenty of jobs out there. Like, there's stuff that you can find, and sometimes it is just going to take time for other jobs to pop up and and whatnot. But yeah, I would, if you can't craft your resume in such a way that would show that you have the requisite experience for that role, then don't, especially if it's a role that's like 2 or 3 levels above where you are today. Um, it's hard to it's rare that you get promoted when you're changing jobs. Um, a lot of times it's a lateral, it could be a lateral move, depending on
Yeah.
what it is, I
And
would say.
then just to kind of wrap things up, any preference on the minimum qualifications versus preferred qualifications? Like, should you apply if you at least hit the minimum, or how often do you see that the preferred give you that extra competitive edge?
I would say if you think that you have the majority of them, I don't think you need to have every single one. And if you have job experience, like several years of experience in the thing that you're doing, that is just as important, if not more important, than having a degree in what they're asking you to have. A lot of people have degrees and they're not doing anything related to that work. A lot of companies will say that a degree is preferred or even required, and it's not actually. If you have enough experience, they're gonna take you.
Yeah.
They're not going to ignore people that have like exactly what they're looking for, but oh well, you didn't get a degree in some meaningless subject 20 years ago, so we can't give you the job.
What I'm
There's
finding
very few
very
companies
interesting.
that actually literally require a degree.
Yeah. And what I'm finding most interesting, though, just looking at the first two pages of jobs here, as I looked up Jira administration, I'm not seeing any Jira admin jobs.
Yeah,
So that's a very interesting thing where maybe as a Jira admin, you might want to start augmenting your skills with a little bit more DevOps, a little bit more on the infrastructure side, a little bit more on the platform side, a little bit more on the program management side, because a straight Jira admin job, like what I do,
Yeah.
I don't see it.
Yeah, I mean, it's those jobs they're actually kind of rare. I mean, there look, there's only what 300 and some people that are community leaders, and not every one of those people are Jira or even Jira admins. Um, and that's out of several 100,000 Atlassian customers, like
300,000
or
to be exact.
300,000 Atlassian customers. Like
Right.
that's not it's not there's not a lot of jobs like that.
So that's
Most of
really
those jobs are at partners.
so that's really interesting because as I kind of strategize about the future of this channel,
Yeah.
maybe focusing on just Jira admin isn't the appropriate thing, but to do how to build a workflow as a project manager in Jira makes way more compelling sense,
Yeah.
right? Like site reliability workflows in Jira
Right.
for Jira admins, right?
Well, yeah, and it's also about like I I would not try and focus on like, okay, I just need a Jira admin job because the physical like the physical clicking of the buttons, like, okay, I need to create a new field, I need to create a new workflow, I need to do that, do this and that. Okay, fine. That the act of doing those things is not hard to learn or teach.
Right. But then who's
The
getting
issue
laid off then? Like all these partners are laying folks off.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be assumed then that they had a more technical Jira admin job?
I mean, it depends on the layoff. I mean, most layoffs ultimately occur because of revenue
Right.
and
No, but I'm
risk
saying like the
goals.
positions that these people had though, right? Like
Yeah.
if you were working for a partner, an Atlassian partner, the
Yeah.
probability that you were doing some sort of a Jira administration is, I think, higher than if you were doing like program management,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
But
And
what
so,
I'm saying, what the point I was trying to make is that you have to try to learn and position yourself more as a solution based person and those skills as opposed to just Jira
yeah,
administration.
I
You
like
need
that
to
because
be thinking more along the lines of like an architect and a consulting type of skill set that would make you more valuable than just someone to click the buttons. Because I think some companies, when they hear Jira administration or Atlassian administration, they're just like, well, we have a help desk. Like they can just do it. And it's like, yeah, but you're not understanding the upstream and downstream effects of all the changes that you're making. And you need to be able to communicate that to people. You need to be able to communicate that to your customer, to your client, whoever it is, to the company that you work for, to the stakeholders. You need to be able to have those higher level conversations around the true impact of the ecosystem that is related and integrated with the Atlassian tools.
Mhm. Okay. Well, Josh, thank you very much. I think this is super valuable to kind of see how to use LinkedIn job search. Obviously, things like Indeed, Glassdoor, they're going to work very much the same. And then there's always going straight to the company, right? So I
Yeah.
remember when I was in college, I literally had like a list of like 500 companies that I'm like, I want to go work at one of these 500 companies. And I just had their websites on an Excel sheet. So
Yeah.
you can always like if you truly care about a company, like maybe your jam like you, Josh, right? Your dream job was working at Atlassian at one point in your life. Maybe you only go look at Atlassian.com and see what they got on their career site.
Sure.
So, all right. Well, Joshua, again, thank you so much for this tip. We'll come back and then because one of the things that I want to do is like, okay, so we got some jobs. Let's take the contents of this rack and let's compare it to what's in our resume so that we
Yeah.
can maximize our chances of getting to that ATS and give some resume tips on like, okay, so now that we kind of know what we're looking for, like your resume can't be night and day, right? Like you can't have a resume that's designed or geared for this but you're applying for this because
Yeah.
you're just gonna have a very frustrating time. And I think this is where that I have that aha moment where like if I'm putting on my resume that I'm a Jira admin, I 6 pages in, right, did not find a single Jira admin job. So
Yeah.
those are gonna be some tips we're gonna give out next week where it's like, okay, so you gotta think about what you're doing here because it's not black and white, right? It's not
Yeah.
zeros and ones here. And so you might have to You might have to take the skills like you had as a JAdmin, but apply them as a more marketable position and whatnot. So come back next week. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, and we'll continue down our journey of exploring how to get a job. Thank you all.